So listen, how's your Christmas shopping going? You haven't started yet, have you? Well, fear not, the big interview is here to help solve all your problems. For the football fans in your life, here's 3 stocking fillers. Firstly, the documentary film of my book, Barca, the Making of the Greatest Team in the World, is now available everywhere on DVD and digital download. Take the Ball, Pass the Ball is the definitive story, we like to say, of the greatest football team ever assembled, and features exclusive interviews with Barca's stellar cast of current and ex-players, including that geezer Lionel Messi, Xavi, Andres Iniesta, Thierry Henry, Dani Alves, Gerard Piqué, Carlos Puyol and Sergio Busquets, plus a rare exclusive contribution from Pep Guardiola himself. There, that's that one present sorted. Secondly, my old chum and fellow dandy Jonathan Northcroft has a new book out published by Backpage, these marvellous people that bring you the books, the podcasts. It's called Deadlines and Darts with Delhi, and it's Jonathan's World Cup diary from Russia last summer, and it's essential reading for the football fan in your life. Finally, check out another Backpage book, Football 2.0, How the World's Best Play the Modern Game by Grant Wall. Through extensive interviews with one player in every key position on and off the pitch, Grant breaks down the technical and tactical revolutions which have transformed football. So, there you have it. Take the Ball, Pass the Ball, Deadlines and Darts with Delhi, Football 2.0. That's not only difficult to say, it's Christmas sorted. Courtesy of your friends at the big interview. You're ho, 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 welcome. Well, big interview listeners, here's part 2 of Thierry Henry, saved from, as they like to say in Hollywood, the cutting room floor, because while making Take the Ball, Pass the Ball, the film, currently distributed by Universal and made by Zoom Sports and me, Thierry Henry was so exuberant about the era when he played at the Camp Nou under Pep Guardiola that he gave us, between the interview and the tactical demonstration, something like a 90-minute exposition of how much he'd enjoyed being re-educated, I think is a fair word, in football by Pep Guardiola, and changing his style successfully, winning a treble in the process. If you haven't listened to part 1, frankly, I'm a little bit surprised. If you haven't already bought the DVD for Christmas or downloaded Take the Ball, Pass the Ball from iTunes, well, here's a little gentle nudge. You'll enjoy it. For the moment, let's continue listening to Thierry telling us what it was like to make history with, I guess, many of us would believe, the greatest footballing era any of us have seen.
Amazing from him, because not only that, for me, where Pep was at times ahead of the game, the fact that Champions League final, in the hotel, family, kids, wives, girlfriend, everybody were inside. When you play for any other team, don't do this, don't do that, no, you have to concentrate. Pep was the total opposite. As much as he was on point to, guys, after midnight, no one out during the week. Don't be late in training. If you're late in training, you don't train. But then, the other part where sometimes you can play a game before a game, he understood that, for example, staying at home before playing a game at home, obviously, traveling in the league the day of the game, not the night before. And again, I go back, Champions League final, having people having their kids, family. My brother was in my room, midnight. Girlfriend, friends, we were just talking, having a cup of coffee, chilling. You gave them their tickets already. You don't have to call on the bus. Oh, wait, I forgot 2 tickets, 3 tickets. No, wait, don't call me. No, cool. You saw them. They saw you. Now game. And I thought that, as much as the video was great, don't get me wrong, I think the big part for me in Pep's approach is how he handled us not going to the hotel. Okay, you can't go out, you can't do this, you can't do that, don't go and watch the tennis, Don't stay under the sun. Don't go to the Formula One. Don't go to this. We're here on a mission. He wanted to know everything, what we ate, whatever. But on the other side, he said, listen, look at what you have. The same thing. The same way he was outside of the field, the same way he was on the field. My job is to bring you into the last third of the field. After, it's on you. So you give me that, I give you the last third. You know, that his way of coaching was something new for me. And, you know, as you know, obviously you living there and knowing about it, the way he sees the game goes far, almost too far at times. I love the way he sees the game. You know, I can talk to Pep about the game for hours. But sometimes he's so ahead, you know, ahead of his time, that he you know, if you a genius, sometimes people will not understand you, and sometimes by seeing stuff, because he sees a lot of stuff during a game, so sometimes he will change stuff during a game so many times because he saw so many different things. And I would say that sometimes that might be, if you can say that he has a problem, that might be his problem. That he is too clever for his own good at times. And how can I explain that one to you? He sees too much. He sees too much. But hey, listen, it's unreal. The way he used to tell us something, that's what we're going to do. Do it, it will work. And it will happen. It really will happen just like that. Yes, we worked at it. Yes, people will tell you, yeah, but look at the quality you had in your team. Yes, the year before we didn't win anything though. You can maybe argue the fact that the squad was maybe bigger and more quality in terms of personal. So yeah, Pep is just ahead of his time. I'll say to you again, for me, he's brave. He's beyond brave, and I hope I hope he will never change, because he is the future of the game. And he showed it with us. He showed it with other teams. But because sometimes he's so clever, he might put some stuff on the field that some guys might not understand. Maybe not our generation, but I'm talking in general.
That's the point I have to make. And that 11 that you're playing in, I think that's the greatest team I've ever seen. Style, competitiveness, beauty of the football. But you have to accept as well, that group, you were all intelligent enough to stay with him. Now, not every player will do that, but that's an undiscussed, unanalysed part of that treble season. You were all bright footballers.
I think, like I said to you, you can be the best chef in the world, which is, I think, for me, Pep right now is the best, one of not the best manager in the world. So you can be the best chef in the world. But if I don't bring you any ingredients for you to cook, you're not going to cook anything. So we're not going to see how good you are, how great you are as a chef, because you have no ingredients. So we were the ingredients. We were bringing food on the table for you to cook with it. Now, okay, can you do this? Can you do that? Whoa, hang on a minute. That's new. Let me assess it. Let me see it. Let me put my pride on the side also, because that team had a lot of guys that are all kings in their country. In bracket, don't get me wrong. Understand when I say kings, don't think that I'm saying just in bracket. To tell a guy that you used to do maybe stuff or whatever, no, you stay there, don't do that, make that run for him. What? What do you mean? I can play football too. No, it's not about playing football, it's about winning. And we understood that if we had to win, that's what we needed to do. But he gave us a plan, he gave us a structure, he gave us a way to play, he gave us an identity. That was, I mean, talking about Pep again, when have you seen a boss talking to you about, you know, when you do a rondo, a 5v2? Beginning of when he arrived, took me on the side, he said, Thierry, can I speak to you? I said, yeah. He goes like, hey, you can play. And we were just doing a rondo. And I went, no, he said, you play the rondo well. And I looked at him and I went, I didn't know there was such a thing. Play the rondo well. Normally, you know, you do it, you don't get analyzed on the rondo. Do you understand what I mean? You do it normally to warm up and and pastime sometimes, before a game, the subs do that. The day before a game to have fun, who's going to nutmeg who and whatever. No. When you do a rondo with Pep, it's an exercise. Are you going, the two come and put pressure, are you going to play this guy, or are you going to play the third man to beat the pressure? Are you going to play in? No, they stay inside, play outside. That's how he used to look at who is who and who does what, who understands what. In a rondo, you were getting judged on, and if sometimes the rondo wasn't sharp enough and the ball movement wasn't quick enough, you used to stop it. I've seen bosses stopping a rondo because some guys were at it, and like, guys, come on, we're not going. Not because the ball is not quick enough, not because you didn't pass the ball where you should have passed it. Sometimes people play a rondo also to make you go inside. Hey, I got you, like set you up. No, it's not the point of a rondo. And that opened my eyes on a lot of stuff.
He gave you a huge compliment saying that you play it well, because that was the heartbeat of how well the team played. I used to say it was like a thermometer with a patient. You say, how's the team? How are the rondos? Don't ask how's the team, how are the rondos? But I can't let go. But while we're winding towards the end of my questions, I have to ask you clearly about Rome. You'd spent a lifetime playing against Sir Alex Ferguson's teams, Manchester United, winning sometimes, but knowing what a fearful opponent that whole group was. Yet, once you wake up in the final, all of you, the chance goes by, Piqué and Valdez get rid of it from Ronaldo. You score a goal, Iniesta to Eto'o, and after the match, Ferguson said, we were beaten at 1-0 after 9 minutes. No Ferguson team has ever been beaten after 9 minutes. What was that? Tell us from the inside about that performance.
Listen, being able to know what's going to happen, we knew what was going to happen. And don't get me wrong, maybe if Ronaldo scores that goal, it's a different game, it's a different thing or whatever it is, or I think the opportunity was Ronaldo in the box, right? But we knew. That's the thing. When you that season that you know nothing will happen. And I'm going to tell you, people don't remember. Our back four wasn't there. I don't know how I played. Iniesta, I don't know how he played. I'm telling you, there's no way. I went, I think, just because of adrenaline and just for the mission that we had. Andres is the same. Yaya played centre back. Silvinho wasn't even playing that season. He played. Puyol played right back. So people knew what we were, but some people were like, can they? People are missing. 2 guys are starting injured. But when you know, when you play against someone, and you look at in their eyes, and it's over. I a couple of times, I think it was Wayne Rooney. You could see he was trying to get the ball, and we were keeping the ball, and you could see the look. He was defeated. It was just like, and I remember Sir Alex saying that he never lost against a team like that before, where he felt that he couldn't do anything. And then when the big man says that, he played against a lot of teams. He had to battle against a lot of teams. I would say that he saw it all. But for him to say what he said, that the game was done after 1-0, after, that speaks volume to how powerful we were and how in control we were on what we were doing.
I've saved my most difficult one for second last. Everybody has talked about Leo Messi, but you're brilliant at analysing, talking about football, and you played with him. Just try and give us a feeling about what it's like for one of the world's great footballers to look at Messi and say, like you said, I'll give the ball to him. Training, first visions, Leo Messi.
Yeah, there's some stuff that you cannot explain. Because we have, it's difficult to talk about Leo and put it into our words, because he is not on our planet. And I mean that when I say that, because I've seen him doing stuff that are not normal. I think I said it once. The best goal I've seen him score was against Malaga at home, because that defies logic what he did. Because the rest of his goals I've seen, the only thing is he did it way better than others. Different. He did it way better than others that I've seen in our history. But that one, it's not normal what he did. It was against Malaga. We won 6-0 at home, I think. Diagonal ball, control the ball in his chest. He has a certain way of stopping the ball dead. Although he's at full speed, that's how he does. And he also, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, when he makes that with the outside of his foot, when he stops the ball usually bounces. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. The ball bounces a bit. So he went full speed also. People need to understand. We're not playing rugby. We're not playing basketball. So when you play rugby, American football, basketball, and you want suddenly full speed turn, you can. The ball is here. Right? Basketball, you want ball is here. American football, ball is here. But when you have a full speed and you have to stop the ball with your left foot, by the way. So he stopped the ball with his left foot. But because it is there, now any human being have to put his foot down, readjust itself or himself to touch the ball again. He didn't. No, normally you have to fall. So I tell you again, ball on the side, control it, guy misses it, he goes now on the diagonal here. Full speed. Now he arrives around here. Stop. Dead. Stop. First player goes. Second player is just behind it. But he knows that, like I said to you, if he takes another step, that player will clear the ball. But it's not possible. It's not possible to stop the ball. Okay, if you stop the ball on your left foot here, how do you go back with that same leg to touch the ball in the air, in between the two, to make sure that guy doesn't touch it? Then he almost fell. He almost fell and he smashed it with his left foot, first post, top corner, around here. But he didn't fall. That's not normal. You know, all the dinks and the dribbling, I can understand low center of gravity, but that one, even if you low center of gravity, you have to fall, and he didn't fall that day. Anyway, I can give you another one in training. No, so many, another one in training. You know, when he used to get upset because, you know, in training, if the boss didn't call a foul or whatever, and, you know, he used to go and, you know, it's not a foul? Okay, he used to go get the ball, run past everyone, score. Now you get the ball, you try to go, he runs after you, get the ball back, scores, until he gets in a normal state again, and he relaxes, and next thing you know, you're 3-1 down. And I've never seen anyone doing that at any level, especially the players that we had on the field in training. You know, it's not, you know, the two teams were kind of looking at each other like, you know, 8v8. You have players on that field. You know, you have to do that to Yaya, you have to do that to Puyol, you have to do that to Marquez, you have to do that to Abidal, you have to do that to Dani Alves, you have to do that. I'm not going to name the whole squad, but, you know, it's just not normal. You know, I think at one point, just look at his stats, what he did, what he won. It's always the same talk. Is he going to, if he doesn't win the World Cup or doesn't win the Copa America, is he going to be one of the best? He is. And for me, you know, in our era, unreal.
That's almost as good as watching him. That's stunning. That's joyful. Last one is Wembley 2011. You have to watch it. I guess some of them are still, they're friends. The club is still in your heart. You should have been there. That would have been more beautiful. But watching Wembley, what is it that makes so many... We listened to Just Fontaine, Hitzfeld, Lippi, Capello, Ferguson describing that game like it was a game that had never been played before, the game.
I had an advantage on everybody watching the game because I knew the feeling. So all the guys that you mentioned, or everybody, were trying to understand what it is, how the feeling must be great. I knew the feeling. So I remember watching that game with a smile. I remember watching that game with a smile because I knew. Even when Rooney scored, I said, hey, don't worry. will come. You could see, everybody could see it, but the difference is I know. I wasn't there on that field, that particular moment, but that was very similar to, again, the same team to what we did in Roma. And listen, when you're in control of the subject, that's what happens. Even if something doesn't matter, the plan will carry us through. Our quality will carry us through. And it did. But to talk about Barcelona, there's something that I want to say, because Barcelona at one point, people were not even looking at Barcelona in terms of, let's see if they're going to win, let's see if they're going to that. When you talk about Barcelona, you're talking about the way they play, the beauty of the game. When people stop me in the street sometimes talking about Barcelona, they don't talk about, hey guys, the way you used to play was just like, and still now, don't get me wrong, that was, you know you've done something when people just want to look at you to watch you play. Not win, they just want to watch you play. The talk was, have you seen them play? Even you go home, you go like, you watch the second goal. You don't, and by the way, they won. That comes after. And I go back, Pep, final, 2000, Rome, shall I say. He said, guys, after the video, he said, guys, today, no matter what, we have to stay true to ourselves. He said, at the end of the game, I want people to say that we can play football. Have a good game. And that is, for me, that's when I was like, yeah, Messi club. Because I don't know a lot of clubs. Did he mean it? Did he not mean it? He said it. Youngsters, tell me a team, apart maybe from Ajax, that dominated world football, having that amount of youngsters from the academy in their team. Not only role players, the most important players. Messi club. Again. And when I first saw it, I always remember, I made a joke about it. And Xavi had a go at me, and rightly so. He did let me know what was the club. Because I first arrived, you remember, you trained at the Camp Nou, and it was before again my first season. We were struggling, and I'm looking at the seats, and I went Messi club. No, but I was like Messi club. Xavier, don't speak like that. You're gonna understand soon, but yes, Messi club, and you will see soon. And I just turned and I went, no, I wasn't having a go. He said, no. Messi club, yes, you will understand soon. And fortunately for me, I had the opportunity to understand it, But those guys let you know when you're out of order, or when they think you're out of order, or the fans will let you know. The press definitely will let you know. But, all this type of stuff for me where when I started to understand the club, and it is for real more than a club.
They let you into the family because of how good you are. They let you into the family. You became part of the family. Second, you played in the most beautiful football team ever. You starred in the most beautiful team ever. Football isn't really played like that. And that's why we're here, out of passion and respect.
Barcelona, for me, is an example. And I'm not saying that because I played there. Everybody knows, obviously, the love that I have for Arsenal, and that's hard. And that also will never change. But to be able to attract me from Arsenal to go there, that says a lot also. And I don't care where you're from. I don't care. If you tell me that you love football and you don't love Barcelona, you have a problem.